This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Okay. So we've sort of chosen a path forward in the board test chip, at least how to a proposal to bring to the community, not on how we get funded, etc. Our intent is to bring a fleshed out proposal to this meeting on January 8th. But we would like to sort of share where we're at with everyone so you get a sense of what we're doing. Maybe you can recruit people who are interested in participating, etc. Suresh, do you want to?
Sure. So essentially, over the past few weeks, a bunch of us have been kind of looking at all the different requirements for what a test chip would look like. And we have narrowed it down to 3 different candidates. The details will present on January 8th. But 3 candidate configurations and how they would go on a package, what are the metrics we want to measure and get out of it, kind of identified the task list. We've also looked at what kind of business models might work for anybody who wants to contribute, whether it's an IP form or whatever they want to bring to the table. And essentially, we will go over that in detail. And all of this, we are converting it into a call for proposals so that we can circulate it to the community and see who wants to participate and present their responses to the proposal in terms of what cost and what they're willing to deliver for that price. And I think the goal is once we have all those proposals to look at what makes sense for the ODSA community and also gives us a sense of how much money we need to raise to enable that effort. That's kind of the summary of where we are, and specific details we will present on at the January 8th meeting.
Suresh, if you don't mind, I'm just going to share the CFP in its ugly form right now.
Okay.
Because I do want the just give people a sense and see whether there's any quick feedback
Okay.
And then we can sort of work on it over the. So basically, I think at the top level, the thing we want to run by everyone is really we're settling on 3 things. The specifics of the test chip, Suresh has put a lot of hard work into saying getting consensus on what the 3 test chips are. What we're proposing is sort of a 2-way process where we're sort of going off and recruiting. We want to recruit companies to propose to become contractors to develop the test chip and put a proposal together. And then we'd like to take those proposals and run them by potential sources of funding in the community. So sort of do a community supported test chip development. And the idea is that we're offering potential contractors 3 business models in which they can work with the community. One is sort of an open data model where they share everything about their test chip and they're willing to display a willingness to license the GDS2 for end users or anybody else, actually, not just end users, any users. The second idea is an open design aspect where they're willing to license the GDS2 and share the at no cost. And the third one is where the design itself is open, so somebody else can grab their design and port it to different process nodes, et cetera, et cetera. This is the sort of broad direction in which we're going. So at the top level, we specified 3 test chips. We're going to solicit people who are interested in developing these test chips, companies that are interested in developing these test chips as contractors, asking them for proposals. We're asking them to consider one of these 3 business models or come up with their own if they don't like any of these 3. And then we'd like to bundle all of this and bring it to a potential community of funders of either semiconductor vendors, end users, and service providers, anybody else, and do a community funded development. That's roughly the plan. And we are optimistic, hopeful, maybe optimistic is too strong a word, about finishing this CFP over by somewhere in the middle of January. We've got a bunch of volunteers writing different parts. That's basically what we wanted to run by. Any questions?
Bapi, I just want to add one more detail. Right now, the timelines are looking like from when we have all this done to develop a test chip, approximately 12 months, and to get chip out to fab, and then by the time it comes back and have all the data, an additional 4 to 6 months, or at least another 6 months. So that's the time frame we're looking at overall.
That's right. And we need to get that ratified by whoever submits a contract proposal or a response to the CFP.
Right.
I agree. And you know, our ask for anybody is two things. One, does this model make sense? Two, if you know of any sort of design services companies, anybody else who you think will be interested in the CFP, feel free to reach out to them, send them our way, engage with them in any possible way. DJ, any thoughts?
Yeah, I have a quick question. So Bo has 3 types of interfaces. What interface is this test chip planning to test?
We're leaving that open to the we're leaving the choice of packaging technology. So we have 3 options: one with advanced packaging, one with advanced speed, and one the Bo basic. And we're leaving that choice to the to the entity responding to the CFP.
Okay, so a quick, very short update. This is one area we are discussing in the end user work group. So Bapi, you can sign the end user work group for providing this feedback back to the ODSA community. Hopefully we will be able to do that in a reasonable time, but at least this is something I'm trying to converge within the end user work group on what die-to-die interface should we suggest for bringing in the test chip.
DJ and Bapi, just want to add that this is some of the detail we would have gone through, but since it came up, there is some end user feedback we have gotten, and it's roughly they want to see the fastest data rate possible, but there's interest for low cost reasons on organic substrate versus some are interested in the interposer. But I think that's kind of some of the data we have so far within the smaller community that we are dealing with.
Perfect. So may I know, is this Suresh speaking?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Suresh. So Suresh, is it possible for you to, you probably have my email address. Could you send me a short summary of that? We are going to converge with our feedback so that you can, with the community, of course, so everyone can kind of get an idea. And then Bapi, one other ask from everyone here is, if there are any other open questions which are right now unanswered for moving forward on the Bo test chip, let's summarize it in this meeting minutes or this Bo test chip CFP, and then we will use those questions to see how we can close it in end user. So if you can, capture that, and that would be helpful as well. And
okay,
can you post this document link in the chat if you don't mind, so that
yeah, I will put it into the minutes. Hang on, I don't have. Let me. Yeah, I will do that.
Okay. Yeah, and then maybe you can put the meeting minutes link in the chat, because I can't seem to find it easily. So
wait, which meeting minutes? Is this our meeting minutes?
Yeah, right. So you're taking this link and putting it into the ODSA 12-18 meeting minutes, right? So that meeting minutes is all I need because it will have all the information. So if you can put that link in the chat, then I have quick access to it. Thank you.
Okay.
Just Alan here. I'd just like to support Suresh's comment. I think the highest speed in an organic substrate support are they're certainly where I see greatest benefit.
Okay. I think so. Fundamentally, we're also looking like if our ideal goal is to make this funded by end users and potential users. So semi companies, packaging companies, OSATs, anybody else who's interested in seeing an interface, easy to use interface propagate.
Sorry, Bappy.
Go ahead, Alan.
I said, sorry, I don't have any money.
Well, we can always fix that. So if you can propagate this inside your organization, if we can help you in any way, specifically if you see potential funding and where beyond the CFP, if you need a slide deck, anything like that, if you could tell us, that would be really useful. And also the second part is if you know of any companies who you think would be interesting service providers, vendors who want to participate in the CFP. Suresh, is that fair? Is there anything else you want to ask for?
No, that's it. Either end user information or how you can help facilitate development of this test chip.
Any other questions before we move on?
No, Bapi, just if you get chances, can you post the link in the chat in the GoToMeeting?
Yep, I will. I'll do it as soon as the next topic kicks in. Okay. David, did you have a question? Looks like you're still on mute locally. Okay. All right. So anyway, this is the test chip discussion. We want to bring you a full proposal by the 18th, and reach out to us. Ravi, it's all yours.
So on the business work stream update, and I think you may have seen my email from this morning. So we have only a verbal update, and the proposal probably a month ago, Ali and I and Dharmesh brought a proposal where the plan was we will have a hypothetical chiplet product, and we will ask companies within ODSA to document and do an interaction so that we can understand as the product moves in the value chain stream. What are the challenges which we can uncover, and then we can share. And the idea is maybe we'll come up with a white paper. But the matter of fact is we don't have that many companies who have signed up. So that particular activity hasn't gained momentum yet. And our plan is maybe it's just because a lot of community is busy in wrapping up the year, and maybe we should pick it up in January. So that's where we are. And Ali and Dharmesh, feel free to add anything if you want to.
No, I think you summarized it well. I'll let Ali chime in if he has any further thoughts.
No, I mean, I'm going to put the link to the sign up in the chat. So please sign up. And then, I think it should be something enjoyable as well as informative. So I hope so. Also, you can email me or Ravi if you have any questions or want to, and our emails are in that document. Or if you want to go over, what it entails again, we have some slides on that, so we can review that again.
And I want to add one thing, but what we are planning to do, Dharmesh and I had a discussion, earlier about this. We will hold some, pairwise discussion of our own where we will invite two companies, because I don't think the way originally we thought we'll let companies to interact among themselves and then come and come and present their outcome. But I don't think that model is working. So we have to make some changes to that model, and maybe we have to play a more active role rather than wait for the inputs. So that's the plan, Bapi, moving forward. But I still urge this community, we need more volunteer, because where it stands today, and I'm happy to share with the link which Ali put it in the chat. We have only 3 or 4 sign up.
So, Ravi, one thing that might be helpful is, are there any specific areas in which we're looking for volunteers? What are the specific? Maybe easier to say we're looking for this person and go ping
Sure.
that skill set.
I think the areas definitely we are looking is, so we already have packaging house like ASC, and I think even Swami has agreed in the past. And then we are looking design houses. So I think Rishi has agreed in the past to, with, it's not listed here, but I think, and then we are looking more system integrator or fabless type of companies. And if we can get foundry, that will also be very useful.
Wait, give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen and I'd like to type while you're talking so you can see what I'm typing.
Oh, okay.
Because I won't tell me. So packaging house, we have who we have
So
ASC.
we have ASC, and I think in the past Swami from JSAT has also agreed to that.
Swami's online.
Yeah, I was the first to. Yeah, I was the first to sign up. I didn't see anybody else. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to get you there, Swami. Thank you.
And from design houses, I think we have Rishi in the past who talked to Dharmesh and shared his interest.
Okay.
And then I think we have David as well from an EDA house, from EDA standpoint.
From Synopsys?
No, David is from
Trace. David from Trace?
David Rachkov.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry if I pronounce incorrectly.
No, David Rachkov, he's online. Okay. So Cadence.
No, that's good. That's perfect.
Okay. Do you need anybody else?
Yes. So I am looking. If we can get both Synopsys and Cadence, that will be good. So we have Cadence, but if we can get Synopsys as well.
Okay, so maybe we can ping Rita. She's not attending regularly, but we can ask. Okay.
Okay, and then from system integrator, so Ali has agreed to play that role, but I would like more of those.
Do you have any examples of system integrator? Do you have any company names in mind? Anybody else can help out? Anybody else have a good system integrator for a role play?
System integrator or fabless, the company who play a fabless role, like Qualcomm's and Broadcom's.
Quinn can be. Quinn used to be fabless. Quinn, you want to volunteer?
Bapi, how about you? Do you want to volunteer?
I am. My expertise is limited. All right, I'd be happy to, of course.
Thank you. Sorry,
I think we also need people that are IP vendors. Anybody who would contribute some IP into this system. The role play may be around a chiplet as the piece of IP, but if you're coming from an IP, if you're trying to sell IP into this ecosystem, then I think that you still have something important to say, even if it's not exactly your IP. The other thing is, I think we need end users also, because there's the system, the product owner, the spec owner. I don't think that's represented in our signups either.
Yeah. So a question: Can somebody clarify? Do you mean the same thing when you say system integrator or fabless? Because I don't see them as the same at all. Or is that right? Okay, thank you. Thanks. That's better.
Well, I
wouldn't say they're the same. No. Sorry.
No, keep going. Keep going. If you give me some names, I'll type and we can go hunt for specific people. We don't.
I wouldn't say that they're the same. I would say that they are, but they have a similar spot in the value chain of doing integration design. I think that's that's the idea.
Yeah. So in that case, Ali, if that was Ali, I'm still getting a little confused. So yeah, I guess you've got system integrator in terms of the IP going onto the chip, and then you've got system integrator in terms of somebody plugging the chiplets together, or they use together.
No, so Alan, I'm looking at somebody, a system integrator who is putting together a chip. So I think you have signed up for that. I see your name in the sheet.
Okay.
Right.
So wait. Okay, Ravi and Ali, if you don't mind, I have a thought. We can do in real time, if it makes sense. We just ascribe the function you have in the value chain. So give me the name at the front, and then what function you see for them in the value chain and representatives.
Perfect. So you have a system integrator, and I think system integrator has IP buyer as well as somebody who's putting together the chiplets together.
Okay. I'll just take what. All right.
Well, yeah, I would say that could be two completely different sets of
Yes.
people.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Agree. So maybe after IP buyer, if you hit enter, then it will become a separate category.
Okay. So an IP buyer. So this is wait, a fabless vendor is also a system integrator in this definition, then, right?
Yes, they will also do that.
Okay. So all right, I got okay, entity that puts products together. So develops products for resale. So it could be either a fabless or a system integrator. So the names you have are IP buyers and IP buyers in these roles.
I would say, in the traditional sense, SEMs, contract electronic manufacturers. You know, currently they buy packaged parts and put them together, but why couldn't they buy chiplets and put them together?
Right.
So SEMs, IP buyers, SEMs.
The only difference I see is that, you know, Broadcom and Qualcomm are already in the role of developing products, whereas okay, doesn't matter. It's Qualcomm. Who else? We don't normally have any participants from Qualcomm, so this is going to be a stretch.
Oh, so maybe so the SEMs are the manufacturers. Maybe I'm thinking Dell, HPE. You know, they buy components and they make PCBs and deliver servers. So why wouldn't they be a buyer of these if we managed to get the standards and there was a whole raft of chiplets available for us to bolt together?
So remember, this is not an exercise in what could happen, right? I think we're trying to identify people who are willing to role play for these, identify names and people.
Okay.
This is not a future forward-looking exercise. This is like, you know, we want to do something in December and January. Where do we find people who are willing to do this?
I guess I'm struggling with the definitions. That's probably one. I think that the trouble is with the word system integrators. It can be used.
Okay. So actually, IBM.
What about companies that are going to contribute die or you know, like an NXP or Microchip, right? They're both participating here. I haven't seen them sign up, but we need people on that side of it also, you know, that are concerned with actually supplying chiplets.
Reza, you think you could help out here? Sorry to call you out in public, but is this something you would sort of check out with Ali and Ravi?
So one thing we don't have it here is, which is, can we add foundries? You know,
foundries.
And I know we don't have that much participation from foundries in this forum, but I would love to get like the TSMC, Samsung, even Intel, you know, because Intel plays that kind of a dual role.
We could get AMAT to be a proxy. Okay.
Again, I think this is a good list to begin with, and if we can even get this list taken care in you know, next 2 to 3 months, to me that will be a big success.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is a good. Yeah, so the only this list, Alan, you think you can approach someone at IBM?
Yes, actually, I can lobby.
Okay, it's worth a shot. Okay. If anybody,
actually, they are a fantastic example. They've been doing multi-chip modules forever, right?
Right.
And they've got the deepest of expertise in putting that together and the problems. So, okay.
Bapi, I think we have Rita just joined. Maybe
Oh, Rita
Rita, are
joined
you?
just in time to volunteer. How perfect is that? Hey, Rita.
Maybe.
No, you spotted it correctly.
Sorry.
Perfect timing.
Sorry, Rita, volunteering
What
you.
did you guys sign? What did you guys sign me up for?
Other than a Christmas bonus,
I'll take that part. I'll take that part.
no, we signed you up to hopefully, if you could please ping Ali and Ravi offline, and we're trying to get some sort of a value chain role-playing exercise going for the business work group. If you wouldn't mind just pinging them for us offline, that would be great.
Actually, Rita, I'll do it so that you'll be clear of what we are looking.
Okay, sorry, you guys got cut off. So,
Rita, I'll reach out to you what we are looking and so what help we are looking.
okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And we don't have current chiplet vendors. The only sort of person I know of in this business right now, we got a few actually, and I should say take that back. And then Reza joins the call fairly regularly. Reza, if you're still on mute, if you wouldn't mind getting off mute. But anybody else that we should think of? Okay, so Shreyas, if you want to, Shreyas has sort of been a new champion, so if, you can reach out to him, Ali or Ravi.
Yeah, hi, Ali and Ravi. This is Shreyas. I am with Intel, and so yeah. So one of the things that I was thinking about, Bapi, was chiplet vendors. We may want to include some of the SerDes vendors because SerDes is a chiplet that is being, I see in the market being used multiple chips with. Yeah.
I know exactly who. They've been pretty helpful and active as Alphabay. We can ping Alphabay.
Yeah, Alphabay is yeah.
So, Shreyas, this is Ravi. I have a question. So we have listed under Foundry, TSMC, Samsung, and Intel. Do you think, I know, and I'm ex-Intel by the way. So my question is, can you add your inputs from an Intel standpoint to the discussion?
Yeah, of course, I'm not the process guy, but I can definitely get some input from Intel.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Javi, if you think, I don't know if did we lose Javi, or is he still online?
I'm still here.
Okay. If there's a different exercise, if you think somebody from ARM could participate, we're essentially trying to sort of build the role play and build a chiplet value chain workflow. So if you think somebody from ARM could join, that would be perfect.
Yeah, so is the ask regarding design services or IP? Because, providing IP is certainly a different ask. I think having
this is neither. This is more like an ask to participate in a discussion. Think of it as like a panel discussion. It's just sort of say a back and forth. It's more a role-playing exercise than anything else at this point.
I see. Okay.
Precisely.
Sorry, Bapi, you've crossed out system integrator. Just reading that number 5 again. My definition of system integrator feels okay in there. We do need those players.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess, but it can be interpreted. Everybody has a slightly different interpretation of it, is what I've gathered from this conversation.
Yeah. So, but what was I thinking? Yeah, Javi, we're trying to construct, Ravi and Ali are trying to construct sort of a value chain and how information and business will flow in a chiplet workflow. And we're essentially trying to gather multiple participants from across the potential ecosystem.
Yeah, and I think that's the key part in terms of these being used by the industry. Then you do need those end buyers that are putting together the systems to have an array of chiplets that make sense, that they give them choices, right? So I think that's a critical piece of the pie here.
I put up something just as a reference. This is what we were thinking about in terms of, the simplified value chain, and And so, it's just a stab at it. And, this conversation, I think, illustrates what we're trying to do, is that it's hard to define these things. We don't know which functions need to be integrated together for most seamless, type of ecosystem. We're trying to learn those things, what type of information sharing needs to happen. So, this is very high level. And of course, this could be reconfigured and there could be more granularity to it, but we're trying to, at least from the high level, figure out what does this value chain look like, how do you drive it?
Absolutely, Ali. And where do they get combined into one company or not? I think that is quite a critical point as well. Is we tend to have a little bit of a silo in our heads of the way things work today, and moving things between different vendors and different suppliers, is an opportunity. Or also maybe the way it is today is fine,
So if Ali, if you go to page 8, so just to flash to everyone, page 8. No, not page 8, the previous slide.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
So this is the intent, when two companies are interacting, so that we can capture gives and gets, both from technical and business, and challenges. And we came up with some initially list of these questions, but they are not by any means final. But what Bapi has captured today, some of the names, I think we'll reach out to those people and maybe just hold those two companies interaction, because it's not happening in the background. That's what we were hoping.
Ravi, I have a suggestion. If you and Ali are up for it, and say, this may, rather than making it informal, how about we shoot for, let's say, like January 29th afternoon, a 3-hour workshop like thing. Try to get everybody into.
I like it.
So it becomes an event rather than us trying to schedule.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So that way it will be a dedicated session, and people who are participating, they know, there is a need, why they are joining this meeting. So it will become more natural.
Yeah.
I'm
gives
down
us
for
about
that.
a month and a half to organize. We can call it a workshop and get round up all the potential participants and see what the story is.
This is an excellent idea, Bapi. I think we should target that rather than doing this pairwise or background interaction.
Yeah. So Ali, does that work for you?
Yeah, that works for me. I mean, I think we need to probably align on the date and a format, but we can move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a Friday afternoon activity that somebody would be willing to give us a couple of hours of their time. The challenge is Friday afternoon, I guess, is Asia participation, but we can figure that out. But yeah, and then all the people, Rita, anybody else who volunteered, if you can pick that date and make yourselves available for a workshop, then we might be able to get and the output of that will be some kind of we'll take sort of notes and minutes and try to glue that together into a document.
Yeah, maybe we come up with a white paper, if we get enough meaty feedback, so that, that will be useful to broader audience.
Yeah. So Shreyas and Javi and Rita and who else did I volunteer? David and Quinn and everybody else. Let's say, somewhere in the end of January, early February, whatever that date, we'll aim for a 3-hour Friday afternoon workshop on this.
Yeah, so Bapi, what I'll do is, after your today's meeting, once I will have those names, I will send out a maybe Google poll or something, so that few dates where people can give their opinion which days work best for them, and then we'll just block that based on the majority opinion.
Yep, we'll aim for a workshop. You tell me when, and just glue prep ahead of that. That might be a good event for us as well.
Yep, great.
And Ravi and Bapi, this is Swami. Just a thought here for that session. If you can come up with, any end case or a use case scenario, and try to work that out, how to accomplish that, end goal. If we have a particular.
Sure. So Swami, if you look at page 4 of this deck, this is at least the hypothetical model, a product which we try to build, and this is based on primarily with Mara, and then we had some offline meeting with ODSA member, and we added like power delivery and infra management to this hypothetical product.
Excellent. I think this would be the way to go. Yeah, Ravi, agree. So that we know exactly, what silicon and what IPs are involved, and we can start from there. And how do we get the final product out, right?
Yeah. And you are exactly right, Swami. The idea is this is a thought exercise. When a product moves in the value chain, what do we uncover? And I'm sure we will learn a lot through this exercise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we live this every day, customers coming to us, seeing, how they can integrate a flash analog and put, say, a codec on the bottom side and come up with, a fancy package and at the lowest cost. I mean, we deal with this each day, but it all starts with a use case. If Samsung wants a, thinner or smaller, smaller dimension, how do you integrate multiple silicon and, make basically multiple chips coming together in one, smaller form factor and accomplish the task. So it starts with that end case. What are we trying to accomplish there?
I placed the link for the slide deck in the chat also, so anybody can look at it offline.
And Bapi, if you are okay, if you can include those two links today in the meeting minutes, so that people who are not even in the meeting, they can have access to the documents.
Don't worry, man. Retail fix everything. We're all set.
Great.
And that system integrator, it's a floating term. It can fit any it can fit any node in the supply chain. Anybody can be a system integrator at any point in time. So I think it's a very generic term. You cannot box it into one person.
I knew we'd get fractal today.
we maybe outcome number one. In fact, I'm wondering whether if the discussion like that would go really well if we had an experienced moderator of some kind to keep the flow going. So maybe that's one more thing we can look offline, if we can sort of recruit a potentially good moderator for this workshop.
But they have to be technically knowledgeable as well, right? I mean, or is it more generic than that?
No, in fact, Andreas, can I volunteer you for this?
Yeah, I'm here. What am I being volunteered for?
So I'm thinking the whole idea here, we've been sort of working on putting this together, is to sort of put together what would a chiplet business workflow and production workflow look like, and assembling sort of either a role-playing conversation across the different participants. And I want someone to drive that whole end-to-end discussion. I feel like it'll be really interesting if there's someone knowledgeable drives it. And the plan is to sort of glue all this together on a Friday afternoon or some afternoon for a 3-hour workshop where we bring everybody from different parts of the value chain, and you're sort of constructing this hypothetical product, gluing it together.
Okay, so you want to start with this proposed product, and all the parties there, see how they make money, right? And
exactly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that'll be fun, and I think productive. So let's do that. So when what's the date?
We'll figure it out. See, sometime in end of January or early, whatever works. But we'll glue everybody together and make this happen. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So Andrea, this is Ravi. I'll circle back with you, and then I think we can coordinate.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Then we're in business. We got ourselves a plan. We got ourselves potential participants. We got ourselves an awesome moderator. It can only be uphill from that way. Huh?
Well played, Bapi. Well played.
I'm happy you're here. So I think we're in business, guys. Then we should have a useful thing pop out of this. Anybody else with any thoughts? Thank you, Andreas.
Just one thing, Bapi. I guess it's easy to gravitate to the individual chiplets, and just on the substrate side, be it silicon substrate, organic substrate, or whatever. That's obviously the piece that stitches everything together, and I may be wrong in this, but I just get a feeling the activities we are doing here don't really look at how easy or difficult it is to put the chiplets together on different substrates. It's, you know, am I missing that, or do you think that's well covered?
Well, I've added that. We need but I think in some sense Swami will rep that, right? Swami,
Yes, absolutely. Yes, Bapi. That's what I was mentioning. We live this day in and day out. Right. If we get these multiple silicon applications, and we are asked to, form factor it in the smallest and thinnest and at the cheapest price, lowest cost, versus path, say, one of the end users wants to go a monolithic path, or put multiple silicon together. I mean, we live that day in and day out, and our objective is to give the cheapest solution. Now it's the wire bond, it's the flip chip configuration. You put it on the bottom side or top side, you wire bond one, and you don't wire bond it. So those are the combinations we go through. So the ultimate comes down to what's the end user want. What are they trying to achieve? What are the different? If you look at a phone, if you look at a tablet, if you look at any end user, any end use, how do you increase a battery real estate, and how do you integrate other chips around it into a package? So
right, yeah, there is a spectrum. Right? I mean, to your point, there is a spectrum, and I think that's an interesting dynamic of you can say, well, if you want the cheapest cost, or then and you're prepared to compromise these, it would be good. A bit like you guys have done the chiplet IO standard, that spreadsheet. I mean, it would be great to see a sort of a substrate spreadsheet of silicon, wire bond, bump pitch. If you have, because I have no feeling of, everyone says 130 micron for organic substrates, but why is that? Or if you only have one row deep and you have no vias, can you do organic at 20 microns, as I've heard somebody say? And so, but I, as a systems guy trying to look at my choices, I think I'm a little bit lost in how difficult or easy things are to do at the substrate level, so that maybe the go into more of the contract manufacturer end of the industry as it stands today. Do they have any chance at all of being able to put chiplets together on a substrate, or is this really only the purview of the packaging guys today, ASE, etc.? And I think that's the interesting part is if we can dial in an easy scale, but how far can we go and still make it usable by a tier 2 and a tier 3, compared to it's damn too hard and it's only the best tier 1s that are going to succeed with this? Because again,
so Alan, if I might, the platform proposal that I put forward, that's the most basic assumption of a platform, is what is the integration technology, silicon, organic. So I think it's kind of, those considerations would be embedded in there, but that spreadsheet would be extremely useful for, before, in terms of then looking at it and saying, okay, if I'm going to go with this one, what am I capable of, versus if I go with the other one, what am I truly capable of?
Right, yeah.
So Ravi and Ali, I do have a couple of asks. Just Alan, if I apologize, we're going to run out of time soon. So
no
I just want to sort of nail down a couple of things. One is, if we're going to make this an organized effort, we should probably have a very clear sense of what the scope is of the discussion and what's not. The second thing is to sort of put an abstract together. Obviously, I'm more than happy to help in all of these. What's in scope, an abstract for the workshop, or a description. And the third is probably 3, ask for any. Alan has a bunch of questions which all sound really interesting. So maybe in the meetings on the 8th and the 15th, round up any community any questions we get and say, hey, who has any thoughts for what needs to be covered at the workshop, and finally sort of nail close on a list of participants, if that makes sense, right? So I basically I'm saying maybe between now and the next 3-4 weeks, we sort of revisit these 4 questions every week in our Friday meeting for about 5 to 10 minutes. What's the scope? Get it organized. Get OCP roped in to sort of distribute awareness of this, and close on a list of participants.
Actually, Bapi, if I may add, you had this panel not too long ago, a few weeks back, where you had TSMC, ourselves,
right,
and organic. I think TSMC is a key player, because it represents what Alan was saying, the different aspects of packaging or solution. They go with a full homogeneous solution, but could be more expensive, and we have a heterogeneous fan out solution, and then you have an organic substrate solution as well. So I think it all comes down to these 3. So I think TSMC will be a key part of this effort.
Okay. And Ravi was awesome at rounding up them to participate, so I'm sure he'll do the same thing again. So we're good.
Again, Bapi, I can ask and see if I can influence, because even last time it took some time for them to agree.
Hey, you pulled off what any of us couldn't, so I'm pretty confident. Okay, so yeah, so maybe by the 8th we put together a 2-pager to sort of outline everything, and then start refining it over the next 4 weeks, and get the workshop organized, as it were. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think the scope and some of the list of questions, and of course, putting the framework for this workshop. Sure.
Yeah, so let me just write that down so we're in sync. So by 1/8/21, scope, potential participant list, solicit community questions.
So for community question, I have a ask here. So the document which Ali was sharing, there is a section where we have list of question. If anybody has more suggestion, maybe team can add, because it's an online document.
Okay. Wait, I'm spelling disseminate wrong.
And Google is our friend, so don't worry.
Google is our friend. Again, I'm looking at it saying it looks wrong. All right. Okay, then this is wonderful. And Andreas, thank you. Swami, thank you. David, Rita, anybody else? I think if there are no opens, anybody have any opens? Maybe I should just do a quick one. I shouldn't do it that way. Alan, Ravi, Ali.
No.
I'm good.
Okay, Alan.
I'm good.
Thank you. Swami, David, Suresh.
We're good, thank
you. Okay, Quinn, Philippe.
Okay, one question.
I'm good. Nothing for me. Thanks.
Ishwi, Andreas, Shreyas.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just somebody reach out to me by email to coordinate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think I have your email address. I'll have to close with, or you have mine, hopefully. I think I do. All right, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Bapi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you, Shreyas.
Okay. Do you want to invite someone from AIB group to give a talk about
man. Absolutely.
Okay. Can you add a name of David Kellett?
Yeah, David's an old friend. Feel free to invite him. You got our full support. Anybody here, we're more than welcome to have.
Yeah, let me know when you want him to come and talk about AIB.
Here on this group?
Yeah.
Oh, he's had a standing invitation. It's anytime.
Okay, all right. I'll ask him to
give
his perspective on AIB. Because he's driving other standard, right? So, but it will be good to hear here.
Absolutely.
here as well.
Anytime you want.
Yeah, sure.
JP, Rita, Kevin?
No, thank you.
Nothing here.
Okay, who am I missing? Javi. Anybody else? My screen won't go down anymore.
Yeah. So I guess my other comment is once we have that scope nailed down for that discussion, that'll be the starting point for being able to figure out who we can pull in, because they'll want to understand what they're going to be on the hook for.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Well, yeah. Right now it's job owning, so there's no concrete commitments. It's more to a knowledge sharing exercise. But I agree. We'll get you a scope. Okay. In that case, Kevin, did you say that you have nothing, or
I've got nothing.
You've got nothing. In that case, Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for a wonderful year. Happy New Year.
Wish you the same. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
See you in the year.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Bye.
Happy holidays.